Alert, 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 alert. Announcement. 1,106 days ago was our last Commander banned and restricted update. And now we have our next Commander banned and restricted announcement, which came out 3 days ago on September 23rd, 2024. I, myself, Zach, will be going over the entire ban, all 8 pages of it, and I will be giving you my thoughts, what I think about it, and everything else that is incorporated into it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, I would like to state though that yes, our last ban was 1,106 days apart from this date, and that was when Golos was banned and Worldfire was unbanned from Commander as like a little give-take thing. That's the last one I remember at least, and that's the last one I believe recorded. So yeah, it was basically like, oh, we're gonna take Golos away, but then we're gonna like unban Worldfire because we feel like it's fair again. Which I felt like, why? What? No. Like, I was so new to Commander at that point that I didn't really care. Like, I literally learned Commander over 2020. So like a year later, me like playing with my brothers and dad, like that meant nothing to me. So like I woke up, went downstairs on the day of the band. It was a Monday, and I was like, all right, we're gonna listen to a podcast while I eat my breakfast. I happened to turn on the command zone, and lo and behold, this is what came up. So I found it kind of ridiculous on us. So I was like, I didn't know that happened. And now we have our most recent ban, and I have read over it and underlined a few things, made a few notes, and I think it's ridiculous, to be honest. Like, yeah, I'll just let it speak for. I'll just let the ban speak for itself. All right, so gotta shuffle pages around here. I'm gonna read the entire thing so you guys don't have to. This is posted in the description as well as Magic the Gathering.
Hey guys, future Zach here, and just have a few things to report. The date that I'm currently recording this is October 1st, and I just had a few things to say about the reaction of the community and an important announcement that has been released from Magic the Gathering itself. So yeah, let's just get that done really fast, and then we'll get you guys back to listening to all the details. So first up, guys, the Magic the Gathering community, specifically Commander, was obviously very unhappy with the way this ban played out. Obviously, having some players lose hundreds, maybe sometimes thousands of dollars basically overnight. And one person that was specifically upset by it was Josh Lee Kwai. He's a member of the Command Zone, as well as the Commander Advisory Group, which is not the same people who made these decisions. That would be the Commander Rules Committee. Josh resigned from the Commander Advisory Group after 5 years, I believe, on it, because he just didn't trust their decisions. Like, he kept them in the dark. He didn't feel trusted, essentially. So yeah, he was not very thrilled. But the Rules Committee, the members on it, they started receiving threats, and it was not good. On social media, people threatened, not really in public that much. I have heard no reports of people threatening in public situations, but definitely they have threatened online, and I have seen people do it online, and it was not thrilled. Like, people are saying, oh, because you did this, I'm gonna do this and this, so you better undo it. Which, of course, people can't do that. And I obviously don't agree with it, but I'm not going to go out there and start like threatening people. Like, that's not the right thing to do. I don't like these bans, but I'm not going to go out and threaten people. Yes, people lost tens of thousands of dollars, but there are more rational ways of handling yourselves. Like, Magic the Gathering is a game. Like, don't go threatening people over it. And this was obviously very surprising, since the Commander Rules Committee has basically done nothing since, like, for 3 years. No bans, no nothing, and then they dropped this out of nowhere. So this was not expected at all, and people did not like that at all. And many Magic the Gathering players actually sold out their collections just the next morning, just because they don't trust it anymore. Because, like, Magic the Gathering was supposed to be a game, but, like, also an investment for some people, and some people, like, were in it to, like, get the cool, awesome cards that were worth a ton of money. And people were not expecting cards like Mana Crypt, Jeweled Lotus, and Dockside Extortionist to be banned. Like, these cards, except Dockside, Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus, are iconic to the Commander format, and Dockside Extortionist has been a card in there since the beginning, or almost the beginning. I'm not really sure on that, honestly. So people were not really expecting this, and then I talk about in the video how they are not banning Soul Ring because it's iconic, which I kind of find ironic, since they banned Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus, which both of those cards came out within the year of Commander being released. So yeah, many people were not happy about this. Many people lost tens of thousands of dollars overnight. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Back to the video, guys. Thanks for listening.
So this was released on September 23rd, 2024. It's currently September 26th, 2024. So yeah, 3 days after the ban. It's a Thursday. This was released on a Monday. So yeah, let's just read it. Commander Rules Committee. There is a reproduction of the announcement. This is a reproduction of the announcement from the Commander Rules Committee. You can read the complete announcement and explanation on mtgcommander.net. I'm getting this ban from Magic the Gathering, not anywhere else. Announcement date, September 23rd, 2024. Commander, Dockside Extortionist is banned, Jeweled Lotus is banned, Mana Crypt is banned, Nadu Winged Wisdom is banned. I would like to state that both Dockside and Jeweled Lotus, both of them were reprinted in Commander Masters a year ago, exactly. Well, not exactly. They were released on August 4th, I believe, of 2023, both in Commander Masters. So I find it very weird that both are being banned. It's strange, honestly. So yeah, honestly, I have never heard of Nadu Winged Wisdom before. All the other three I have. So I actually had to search this card. I'm like, what is this card? So I searched it up and I found it. Nadu Winged Wisdom. 1, a green and a blue for a legendary creature, bird wizard. It's a 3/4. It's got flying. Creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes a target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, play it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. I see how that can be powerful, but like, that's just it. It can be powerful. I don't think it's ridiculously overpowered. I don't think it's underpowered either. It's just there. So yeah, let's just get into this. There's also an update on the Silver Border project and other new initiatives. There's detailed explanations for each of these. Detailed explanations for each of these are below, and I will read that to you as well. And the effective date for tabletop was September 23rd, 2024, and the effective date for Magic Online was September 23rd, 2024 at 12 p.m. PDT. Pacific something time, I think. I don't know. So yeah, honestly, let's just get into it. I read this last night, and I was like, what in the world is this? I don't even know what to say. I found this ban. Commander Rules Committee. Explanation of bans. Good, we need an explanation. The philosophy of Commander prioritizes creativity, and one of the ways we have historically reflected that in the rules and ban list is to encourage a slower pace of a game than traditional formats. This gives decks time and space to develop and do things. We have a goal to make it easier for players who enjoy slower, more social games to have an environment for them to explore. Okay. Commander has always had the potential for someone to get out to a fast start and to be the arch villain in the game. That advantage has been balanced by having multiple players gunning for them once it happens. In the past few years, notably since Strixhaven School of Mages, we have seen a pattern of stronger mid-game cards that allow the player who skips past the early game to snowball their advantage. Straight through to the win. Occasional games like that are fine, but shouldn't be common, and we're taking steps to bring that frequency down a bit by banning 3 of the most explosive plays in the formats. I want to talk about that. This entire ban can be basically burnt up and solved with a Rule 0 conversation, okay? If you don't know what Rule 0 is, we'll have a video about that coming out soon. But basically what it is, Rule 0 is basically it's a point in the game before you even decide what deck you want to play. It's a conversation, however many players you are having when you play Commander, and it basically is a talk about what power level are we thinking, and decks are determined on power, which is like super confusing. I use a calculator to determine my deck's power, and yeah. And honestly, you can just solve all that with a Rule 0 conversation. If you want to play a cEDH game where someone skips past the early game and snowballs into their advantage straight through to the win, then that's fine. And they state that occasional games like that are fine, but shouldn't be common. If you want it to be common, let it be common, okay? Like, there is no reason why you and your friends, like, let's say you play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, random dates, all right? On Monday, you play casual. On Wednesday, you play cEDH. On Wednesday, you play mid-ladder, okay? So, that's a change of pace, and, like, I don't know what they mean by common. I guess what they mean is, oh, I've got Dockside Extortionist in a deck where, yeah, it's a 6, but, like, if you want, you can title it as a 7 because Dockside's in there. Like, I don't really get why they banned all this. Yeah. Like, Rule 0 conversation can solve all these problems. Alright, Mana Crypt. We're getting into these. Mana Crypt coming down for no mana on turn 1. It's quite possible to have the explosive start of Mana Crypt into a Signet or Talisman, land in another Signet, leaving that player untapping 5 mana on turn 2. In games over 12 turns, the accumulated threat of damage from Mana Crypt provides a reasonable counterbalance for its explosive effect, but to when you are snowballing to a turn 6 to 8 win, it's meaningless drawback. Mana Crypt, I'll read it. It's 0 mana for an artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Mana Crypt deals 3 damage to you. Mana Crypt before this ban was like $200 or whatever, right? Or 100 or something like that. All 3 of these cards, except Nadu, were all about $300, right? Nadu was like 5, and it's that. Now because of this, they have all dropped to like the $20 range, which is like ridiculous. But Mana Crypt specifically, that one I kind of get but like if you're playing Mana Crypt, if you're spending $100 on a single card, which I rarely spend on a deck, then you shouldn't. Then like you should be like creating a cEDH deck. Like people should know that, alright? So like I get like snowballing into a Signet and all that, but like they say, coming down for no mana on turn 1. You can do that exact same thing with Leyline of Anticipation, okay? Because that just reads, cards you control have flash, and if it's in your opening hand, you may start with the game. You may start the game with it on the battlefield. Now, I do realize it doesn't create like a mana kablooey, but like I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous. Like 12 turns, this could deal 36 damage to you in total, which yeah, Mana Crypt could kill you essentially. If it goes like 12 whatever turns. If you're going to a 6 to 8 win, you're having that conversation. So Mana Crypt shouldn't be a problem. And yeah, it's a meaningless drawback. That's the point if you're playing cEDH. Jeweled Lotus, this card's amazing. Another card that can give you 5 mana on turn 2. Jeweled Lotus does it without even needing a good hand. Though you're restricted in what you can do with the mana. 4 and 5 mana commanders can pack a significant punch nowadays, often drawing cards to make up for the one-shot mana, and defensive abilities such as Ward can't be interacted with that early in the game. So basically, I wrote on the side, this and Dockside were just printed in Commander Masters a year ago, okay? That's ridiculous. And I think Dockside was printed somewhere else too, okay? But like Commander Masters, a commander specific set, and you're taking out Jeweled Lotus and Dockside Extortionist. Like what the heck? On the bright side, now that I think about it, Commander Masters should drop because Jeweled Lotus is no longer useful in Commander. Kind of ridiculous. But basically, I read this and I was like, oh, so you don't want people to play their commander on like turn 3 or 4? That's like, this is, I don't know how to think about this. And it says defensive abilities such as Ward can't be interacted with that early in the game. Some commanders have Ward, but like, I don't know how many have it, and like how useful it will be that early in the game, if that makes sense. And like, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand why they banned Jeweled Lotus. Now my least favorite one, Dockside Extortionist. Dockside isn't normally quite as explosive in the early game as the other 2 cards, but can still go mana positive on turn 2 and start generating substick, whatever, a lot of treasures after that. It's been on the border for years, and we shield away from acting in the past because the card has scaled well with the power level of the table. But it's a frequent contributor to the more engageous snowballing. Mana positive on turn 2. Soaring, any Signet, any Talisman, Rampant Growth, actually, yeah. But like, you get my point. Like, those are like that's 4, and you also got like Cultivate, Nature's Lore. Like, any ramp can ramp on turn 2. And when it says a lot of treasures, I'm not attempting to say that word. A lot of treasures on turn 2, the most it can take, okay? If you were the last player, okay, every player, turn 1 plays a Soaring, and turn 2 plays a Signet, alright? At most, you are gaining is on turn 2 is 8, okay? Yeah, that's a lot, but I don't see it. I don't see the point. I don't see the point in that. I know. Cause like, that's not worth it in my opinion. It's 8 treasures, okay? So like, yes, but like, why would you ban a card? Like, turn 2, I don't think they did right with like comparing it to a lot of treasures on turn 2. Like, realistically 4 at most. And even if you're doing that, you're getting off to an explosive start and you're not saving your Dockside for later. When somebody goes off and like with their artifact spree and plays like 7 rocks or whatever, or shards, like, then you could play and get like triple or quadruple the amount of treasures. But no, alright. So yeah, like that makes no sense. Dear. We should also talk about the elephant in the room. We're not banning Soaring, and we have no desire to. Yes, based on the criteria we've talked about here, it would be banned. Soaring is the iconic card of the format and it's significantly tied to the identity of the format that defies the laws of physics in a way that no other card does. Banning Soaring would be fundamentally changing the identity of the format. Identity, again. We aren't trying to eliminate all explosive starts. Yeah, you're just taking out the ones that cost like $100. It happening every once in a while is exciting, and removing the other 3 cards geometrically, whatever, reduces the number of hands capable of substantial above curve mana generation in the first few turns. I want to state 2 things. 1, they're not banning Soaring because it's iconic. If Dockside's iconic, but no, let's go ban Soaring. Jeweled Lotus, that's iconic. No, let's not ban Soaring, but let's go ban Jeweled Lotus, because you know that's a much smarter idea. And for the page before where it says explosive starts, they don't want snowballing starts, explosive starts. There are 2 cards that came to my mind when I read that. I don't know if they're coming to your minds, but I'm like, what? Mana Reflection and Cage Sun. Both of them basically read, you have double mana. Huh? Like, those cards, don't ban those cards. But like, those cards are like significantly more powerful than Dockside ever will be. Just because that's double mana forever. You're not playing 1 land, you've got 2 lands now. Like, that's a lot. And I believe it's any color for both. So yeah, or another one of that color. Another thing, back to Soaring. If they did ban Soaring, they would make every precon illegal. Great idea. So they're not banning it because it's iconic and because every precon would be illegal. Yeah, that makes no sense. understand. This next card, by far, is the most ridiculous in my opinion. Because, yes, sure, you got Dockside, Jewel Lotus, and Mana Crypt. Those three, yeah, sure, that makes sense. But, Nadu Winged Wisdom does not make sense at all. There's another band here, and it's explosive, but in a different way. Given that Nadu Winged Wisdom has been ejected from multiple formats, at this point, it's no surprise that we took a close look at it. For Commander, sometimes hugely problematic cards in other formats, Oko's companions, are fine for Commander, but our observations of Nadu suggest its inherent play pattern is going to cause problems. I just read this and I just realized what it meant. I wrote monkey see, monkey do. Nadu is banned in 1, now 2 formats. 2. Not 1, 2. There are 14 different formats here that are listed, and it's banned in 2 of them. That does not make sense to me. They saw one format that banned him, and they were like, oh, time to take a look. Nadu reads, you'll never believe it. Nadu Winged Wisdom is 1 green and a blue for a 3/4 legendary creature, bird wizard with flying. Creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes a target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. I've never seen this card played. I've watched Commander. I've watched Commander online. I've watched Commander played in real life, and I have never seen this card played ever. So it does not make a whole lot of sense to me why they do it. And the fact that they say our observations of Nadu suggest its inherent play pattern, meaning that it hasn't done anything yet, but they're seeing that a problem will occur, just doesn't make sense to me. But our observations of Nadu suggest its inherent play pattern is going to cause problems. I get it, but I don't. Like, yes, this card basically reads cheat out any mana permanent you want, but like, it doesn't at the same time. It doesn't. Part of the problem is the way in which Nadu wins, where it takes a really long time to do sequences that can't be shortcut and might eventually fizzle out. These are dedicated combo lines that you have to build a deck around. Dropping Nadu into a normal Simic shell still runs the risk of grinding the game down to a slog of resource accrual. It interacts badly with cards that are staples of casual play, most notably Lightning Greaves. Every time they mention a card, they scare me and they're going to be like, this card's on the border. Meaning that decks it gets thrown into without abuse intent can still create a situation where the player is monopolizing all the time in the game. That's not an experience we want to risk, so Nadu gets itself another ban. Once again, they said that's not an experience we want to risk, so Nadu gets itself another ban. That does not make sense to me. Like, that's not an experience we want to risk. So Nadu gets itself another ban. They don't even know what's going to happen. They're just saying, hey, this will probably happen, so we don't want to risk it. It gets a ban. Boom. Like what? That does not make any sense. I don't understand, people. I don't understand at all. Yeah. I mean, I get it because like it could grow really fast. But like at the same time, no. What's coming up? Hopefully quieter updates. Yeah, hopefully, because your last big update was 1,109 days ago from the time of this recording, and 1,106 days ago from this update. So yeah, keep quiet. We talked in the last update about providing players with better ways to communicate about silver bordered cards in their deck. So they went from, oh, we're banning cards to go communicate about it. Yeah, that makes sense. That project is going well, but isn't quite ready for a release, so we're holding off announcing it here. We expect for a release, so we're holding on. We expect it to be out by the next announcement at the latest. We're working with the folks at Wizards to provide some new tools to use in pre-game conversations to help folks find like-minded players that are pretty excited about some of the possibilities there. No promises on a timeline yet, though. Pre-game conversations. Isn't that Rule 0 could solve every single problem they have thrown at us so far? Every single one. Kid you not? Name one that could. You can't, because there isn't one. Whatever happens, we'll be back with our next update on November 18th after the Magic the Gathering Foundation's pre-release. In the meantime, tune in to the charity stream and keep on brewing. What the heck? Magic the Gathering Foundation's pre-release. If they do hold a pre-release, I will be going. I released a video about that. By the time you're watching this video, I should have released it either yesterday or 2 days ago, depending on when you're watching that. But yeah, all in all, I think this is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous ban. I don't see why they did it. I don't know why they did it. I don't like it. I don't. At all. And another thing, if you were curious about Nadu's price, because I actually was, like all these other cards have been like $300 up. Well, not really. I knew Dockside Extortionist was up around 80 and it dropped to like 20. Jeweled Lotus was up around 100-ish and I think it dropped to like, I don't even know what. And like Mana Crypt, same. Like all three of them like dropped. Like they were going steady. Boom. So yeah, not good. So yeah. But Nadu is $4. I'm not sure what it was before the ban, but currently it's $4. So yeah. I think that's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this bonus episode, I guess you could call it. I wasn't planning on releasing this episode, but I saw a video on Monday. I was like, ooh, I should get stuff ready to release. So yeah, I hope you like this. I will have a video coming out soon about what is Rule 0, how to communicate with Rule 0, how to determine how best to suit your playstyle, and more. Leave a comment down below of what video you want to see next. I'm open to suggestions. You want to see me go and build a Magic the Gathering deck out of my collection, or talk about a commander I should build around, or whatever. I just talked about this ban. Not great news, but I think it's ridiculous, honestly. I don't like any bans. And these bans just don't make sense, especially since I've seen Dockside Extortionist basically since the beginning of me playing Commander. Jeweled Lotus has been more recent. Probably around when Commander Masters was released, and Mana Crypt probably just after. But all in all, I think it's pretty ridiculous, if one good thing comes out of this, I hope that the Commander Masters set boosters drop significantly. That's the hope. So yeah, that's that. Hope you guys had a great, amazing day. Hope you guys enjoyed your half hour with me, just under. Don't really know. And yeah, see you guys later. Check out these videos around here. One of them is my newest, and one of them is the video of my first ever pre-release. So yeah, go watch them. I hope you love them. Bye, guys.